Now, Will, we've been circling around the mundane-ish aspects of my life, and we had a listener write in saying I should write a Larry David-esque sitcom about my life. And I ventured a story about taking Iona into the playground and the issues that come up with that, like, playing on swings when there's kids around. And I'm always nervous that I'm going to get into some kind of altercation with a kid and have a Larry David moment. Well, it finally happened. Everyone will be glad to know that yesterday I got into an argument with a kid.
Good, great.
At the playground.
Great,
It's
love
not a very
it.
long story, but I feel we can break it down,
Yeah.
the minutiae of it. So Iona has this thing at the moment. It's a little game she plays. I don't know where it came from or the origins of it or what it's about, but she plays a game called Night Night, where she will just randomly say to you, night, night, and she'll just lie down on the ground. If there's a blanket or something she can pull over herself available, she'll pull the blanket over herself. She'll close her eyes. She'll pretend to sleep for about 15 seconds, and then she'll say, morning, and she'll get up and she'll stretch, and then she'll make you breakfast and hand you some breakfast. And so she just repeats that. Sometimes it can take an hour of just like goes to sleep, morning, makes you breakfast, feeds you something. The variation on what she feeds you is sometimes it's delicious and sometimes it's disgusting, but she won't tell you. So she'll feed you something and you eat it and you'll go, and she'll like, ah, puh, puh, puh. And you'll be like, oh no, that's disgusting, puh, puh. Or sometimes you'll spit it out and she'll get annoyed because it's meant to be delicious, but you don't know. You don't know what you're eating. It's a lot of pressure.
I mean, she's got the absolute temperament of a chef.
Yes.
Like, she's nailed that. She's instinctively zoned right into chef zone, which is just to confuse the shit out of you and be angry regardless.
So we were at the playground and there's this big, tunnel that runs under the sort of the jungle gym, big plastic tunnel. And Iona likes to go in there and she plays night night. So I'll just sit on the grass while she goes in there and she'll go night night and she'll like pretend to fall asleep in the tunnel and then she'll wake up and we do the whole thing. She brings me food.
This is a very cute way of you telling everybody that your daughter is now sleeping in a tunnel.
Yeah, that's right. So I left her there tonight. She seemed fine.
She says she's made friends with these 4 turtles and they're going to look after her.
So she's in the tunnel and it was quite not a busy day, but I'd say like it wasn't 100% packed. It was about a 75%. So, there's a lot of kids running around everywhere and stuff. And I have a bit of an issue with bigger kids at playgrounds because I think there's a cutoff, right? Like
how big?
Equipment. Huh?
How big? Like, what's the cutoff?
I think 8. If you're 8 and above, you got to go find, because the equipment is not built for you. The slides, you're too big for the slides. The stairs are too big. You're just taking up space that little toddlers need to be able to get around on. Not all play equipment. Some playgrounds are built for kids of all ages, but this particular playground, it's not built for big kids.
Also, mate, you're 8. Like, have you not heard of Fortnite? Get a headset, get online with your friends.
Yeah. You've not heard of RedTube? What are you talking about? Hey, bloody hell.
Hey. Get off the swings. I'll show you something on my phone.
So there's this kid, sort of blustery, big dorky kid running around. And he's already kind of like, I already was like, this kid's, he's too rambunctious for me. The way he's like thumping around and just like, he wasn't pushing kids aside. He wasn't being intentionally physically aggressive, but just by being a big dorky kid, he was just like, making it hard for the toddlers to get around. Anyway, so I was keeping half an eye on him. And he jumps down after stomping around in this jungle gym, he jumps down off the slide and he goes to get in through the tunnel. And Iona's just gone night-night, so she's closing her eyes. And so I say to him, hey, mate, I said, we're just playing a game here. Just give us a second. And, she'll get out of your way. He doesn't listen to me. He just starts like crawling with his big...
Okay, boomer.
Yeah,
he
exactly.
shouted over his shoulder.
So with his big oafish like feet and elbows and knees, he starts crawling over her and like, could hit her in the face or whatever like that. Iona doesn't get too upset, but you can see she's a little bigger kid. So she sort of gets all like retreats and stuff. And
she's like, I'm sleeping here. I'm sleeping here.
Well, so I say so he gets through and I'm like, hey mate, I said, sorry. I said, we're just playing a game. And he's looked at me and this is exactly the tone. He's gone, hey mate. He didn't say mate. He said, hey, the playground's for playing, not for sleeping.
I mean, he's making a fair point.
Oh my God. I saw red. I was like, hey, buddy, what if we're playing it sleeping? That counts, doesn't it? She's allowed to play it sleeping. And he was like, nah, she can go fall asleep on the swings. And so then he runs off, and I'm yelling at him as he runs off. I'm like, how's she going to sleep on a swing? How's she going to hold the pillow on a swing?